When I used to watch videos on YouTube, I thought, oh, let me make that, meaning make the exact same thing that they were making in their video, or as close as I could to it. Since my thought process changed a few months back, I started rewatching videos with the mindset more of, how can I make that more me? With this new discovery of myself and rewatching videos, I came across this video by Crafty by Tony. In my video, I'm going to explore different ways that you can make vintage grunge tape so you can create this awesome tape no matter what you have for supplies. So let's get down to it. Greetings and salutations. My name is Tish and welcome to the Artist Haven. I have gathered some supplies here and today I want to just play around. I want to play. I haven't played in paint or art supplies in a while. And I'm like overloading myself, challenging myself, trying to bring out what I used to have. And that was a curious mind and the willingness to get grungy. So let's make some grunge tape. I mean, how else are you going to make grunge? You know, right? I watched Tony's video and she's amazing. She is my sister in grunge. She doesn't know who I am, but we're still sisters and we still love grungy things. Also Eva from Bohemian Crafting. If you haven't watched her channel, I love her grunge. She's amazing. But anyway, she used alcohol inks, which is what I have in these bottles. This is my bottles for my portable toolbox. I have a little toolbox that I keep a bunch of alcohol inks in. So when I do craft shows or whatever, I can be working on projects and do live demos. And I don't want to bring my big bottles that I have of these. So I have little bottles of alcohol inks. I have some alcohol ink in a sprayer, some water in a sprayer. I've got archival ink, and I've got some, this is thick body acrylic. This is transparent burnt umber, which you could probably use regular stuff. I just want to use this up. And then I've got golden fluid acrylic and high flow acrylic in sepia and burnt sienna. But in Tony's video, she used just alcohol inks and archival inks. And I wondered if I could do one in just alcohol inks, one in just archival inks. And then I want to add some paints because I have a cubic butt ton of acrylic paints. And I use them on my jelly plate, but I don't really use them in journaling as much anymore. I am getting back into mixed media on like cardboard and canvas and wood and just everything that I can find. I'm just kind of playing again. I have all these ideas to play again, but I want to use up some of these. And then I've got clear contact, clear cover. It says for books and documents. So this is clear. I'm hoping it looks clear. Yeah, it says clear. Clear cover. Hello. Bonk, bonk. So this is 13 inches wide. And I figured, well, this will work. You can get clear contact paper at Walmart, on Amazon, at your local hardware store, pretty much anywhere. I tend to always get contact paper just because it has a better adhesive to it, but you can use the generic stuff too. I have some blending pads to go with my dauber. Oop, I better take this off. This goes with my actual inks. We don't want to get that messed up. And then I grabbed a paintbrush, and I don't know, this is just a chip brush, and we're going to play around with this. I'm going to show you how we're going to play with this. Okay, so let's clear the desk. And I do have my heat gun. I don't know if I want to use the heat gun. I might plug in my hairdryer instead. So let's open this package. Ta-da! And I'm going to get my little, this is a silicone mat. Because you can't tape on silicone. It doesn't work. So we're going to cut a little piece because a little bit goes a long way. So let's go ahead and cut a section here. And then we're going to cut And I'll show you what I'm doing here. Cut a little section off of here. Actually, we can just fold it. Let's just fold it because that'll help anchor it. So we're going to fold a little edge here, like so. And then we're going to take a paper clip and we're going to clip it. So I've got pitch black, mushroom, and Havana brown. And I've got some rubbing alcohol. So what I'm going to do is spray this on here. And we're going to take a drop. Just put little drops. You know what? I do need my hairdryer. Because I can't use heat with alcohol inks. That is just no bueno. So let me put the drops on here. And we'll use our smudger. I like the needle tips too because you can see how I have just these beautiful little drops. Okay, so you have a little bit more control. So let's take our topper here. We're going to spray a little bit more alcohol on this just so it doesn't soak it all up. Then we're going to just start doing this. We're going to come back and we're going to get all the circles out of it. But I kind of like the circles. And as it dries, I'm going to see less of the big dots and more of the little dots. We're going to just dry this. I'm putting it on the cool setting. I had that on cool and it's dry. So we're going to take some more of this brown and I'll put a few drops, 5 to be exact. Spritz of alcohol. See, I love and I'm just gonna leave that alone because I kind of like that. I'll take some mushroom. We're gonna do spritz alcohol, but we're gonna do it off the desk. And you can see I saturated it, so I blended the dots. Now I want to try something. Try this. Okay, so we got this really cool kind of grungy brown thing going on, but I was thinking, what happens? Okay, so what happens if we use this? So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper. Hang on. I'm going to show you something. Now with these chip brushes, these are cheap. I get them at Harbor Freight. You can get them on Amazon too, but Harbor Freight usually has them right in stock. You can go in the store, grab them in your hand, and have them there. So what I like to do is you can use a regular pair of scissors, but I like taking pinking shears because they got the little jaggedy edges and cutting it really close to the edge. And you want to kind of keep it straight. Takes a little bit of hand power. Okay, a lot of hand power. You don't need it perfectly straight because you're going for jaggedy anyway. Right? And now it's a stiffer bristle brush. So get this out of here. Now what if, and I say what if, haha, this is why I like that. There we go. What if, okay, we're going to, it like this. There we go. Because that does that cool thing like that. And then we take and just do some bigger drops here. Whoop. It's going to pull that. But what if we take and we do this? Make it pool up where we want it to pool up. Let's take, we're going to use this as our little palette. I'm going to put a little alcohol in here. Right. This is why nothing is safe when it comes around me. And let's just push it to the edges. We're going to go over some of these darker spots and make them look not so big. See, that's cool. So what if we take a drop of this brown? Okay. And mix it in here. And we come back. You're kind of dry brushing it. Oh, yeah. See, it's doing the little. Okay. Put slow that down a little bit more. Let's do it here. Okay, so what if we just did a swipe? You gotta remember, these are gonna be little snippets of tape. They're not gonna be, you're gonna see like little strips, about the width of your thumb. So what if we did more stripey bits? Start at one edge and swipe. A little bit more alcohol. Let's do a drop of mushroom in there. Oh, we got 2 little drops. Kind of tone out some of that orangey brown. I kind of like that. Let's go back here and just kind of get some of this alcohol off our brush. And let's stripe this again. Let's start at this end and just go. And we're going to go for stripey lines. And I'm rotating the brush so it's not like always hitting the same spots. This, and let's activate this ink again. And then we're going to take and we're going to swipe it. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. So it kind of made that swipey too, but it's got cool grungy on the edge. Yes. Okay. Let's do some up here. Because I never use the edges, but these are cool edges. They always look kind of weird. Let's try this and let's move on to the next technique. This is what we have so far. Now remember, this is not, we're not going for harmonious for the whole thing. We're looking at little sections that we're going to cut into strips and what they look like. I'm just going to take So the reason you could do this with any permanent waterproof ink, stays on. I just don't have any. This is all I have. We're going to play around. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I like to push the envelope. My motto in life is why be normal? Okay, so we can see we got a cool underlay. Now this is coffee. And we can build up color. We don't want to rub it too much. If you just keep pouncing, it kind of blends it out. I am not a purist, so I will use the same dauber pad for the sepia. I have the mulberry, which is a beautiful red. I love this red. And we're not going to load it up too much. We're going to just do a little bit here and there. Now, out of curiosity, come back with this coffee brown. We're going to kind of edge this red. Yes, I just got some dinnerware. I want to spray this. Okay, well, I think that's pretty freaking cool. All right, let's try this real quick. Look what that alcohol ink, or it's just rubbing alcohol, 91% rubbing alcohol. Look what it did. So cool. I'm gonna have to try something. We're gonna do one more experiment when we get all done with this. I got a spray bottle and we're gonna make it something happen. Okay, so there's that. So let's play. Shake these up. Always shake up your high flow. Always. Okay, first we're gonna take, I need a little something that I can use as a palette other than this, because this already has alcohol ink on it. And I don't want to use alcohol ink. And you're like, oh, well, use your silicone mat. Because I don't want to clean up a whole big mat. Because I know me. All right, we're going to take a little bit of water. I'm going to take this brush. Make this watered down. I'm just going to spread it out. And you're like, water and plastic? I'm like, yeah, water and Yupo paper, dudes. Come on. Have you never tried it? If you haven't tried it, then you're missing out. All right, so now we got a nice juicy palette, or a nice juicy canvas. And we're going to spray it a little bit more with water. Because it's plastic, you guys. Take the high flow. This is sepia, so a nice brown color. And I never clean my nozzles because I'm a bad artist. No, I'm not a bad artist. I guess I'm a naughty artist. Okay, 2 drops. And we're just going to blend this out. And I'm going to take the burnt sienna. And we'll do a drop here, and a drop here, and a drop here. Okay. Oop. Oh, there's 2 drops. 2 drops are better than 1. I'm just going to kind of bring that through. Like, oh my gosh, we're never going to be able to see through that. Give me a minute. I have ideas. Okay. So now take, this is a digital scrap paper. I'm going to just kind of blend this, take 3/4 of it off. Kind of like you do on a jelly plate. See? Cool, huh? Bet you didn't see that coming. Now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to run it across. I'm just trying to get all the plastic covered. I'm going to bring the darker colors over. All right. I like this. This is a little dark. So we're going to take that piece of cardboard again. It's becoming my new favorite tool. Let's move these guys out of the way so I don't knock them over. We're going to take this side. We're going to take the rubbing alcohol and we're going to spritz it. Okay, that's cool. Let's take this and go like this. See if we can get it to go across a little better. Wonder hand. Alright. So let's just go for it. Oh, that was beautiful. Okay. Let's clean off this brush. Maybe that's what we're doing wrong. Well, I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong because this is turning out really cool. Way more cool than I thought it would. We're going to clean this brush. Okay, so we're going to take this over the garbage can. This is the rubbing alcohol. I'm going to swipe it. And then we're going to do this. Last time I did this, I sprayed my camera, so let's hope we don't do that again. All right, let's dry this really quick because I like it. This one I'm not going to be able to do the edges on, which is fine. We're going to let this finish drying. The only thing I'm worried about on this is that the acrylic is going to peel off the plastic. If that's the case, then we probably just need to give it a little sand with a sanding block, a very fine grade sanding block, just to give it a little bit of tooth. But I think this is matte enough where it's going to stay. I mean, we can try. I mean, it's not coming up with my fingernail on the edge here. Okay, it is scraping off with something hard and metal. So I think in order to do that, we could take some matte medium or something like that and lay it down on top of it if we wanted to. If we're not worried about it, I'm putting pretty serious pressure on here. More than you'd probably put on. Well, now it's not scraping off. So I think if it cures, let's let it dry completely. I mean, it's dry to the touch. Let me let it cure. All right, let's let that cure. And let me get this cleaned up, and then I'll come back. Okay, so let's go over what we did and what I think we should do. So this is the alcohol ink. Got kind of a gray blue thing going on over here on this side. And then we've got more brown on this side. So there's that one. Keep knocking stuff over. And then this was the one we did with the archival ink. And that cool alcohol pattern. I like that. I might actually save more of that, but we'll see. We'll stamp these and cut them up and see what we like. And then there's this one. This is kind of paint heavier. This is kind of thinner. And we did the alcohol ink on this, or alcohol on it as well. But I had a thought. What if we took an empty bottle here and some isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Are you with me? Are you with me? Sometimes I wonder about myself. So we're going to fill this. We're not going to fill it. We're just going to put it about halfway. This is a 2-ounce bottle, if I remember correctly. So we got about halfway. And then let's take some alcohol ink. I'm going to take the pitch black. Okay. You with me? We're going to put about 25 drops in here. So we'll put 5 drops of mushroom in there just to be us. Okay. Let's do another 25 drops. Just because I'm me and pitch black isn't truly black. I always put 3 in because I never think 1 does enough. 2 is not enough. 2 is awkward. 3 is perfect. I'll take this, shake it up. So it's not quite true black, but it's dark. I think it's going to do what I want it to do. We'll see. Okay, now where'd the one go for the fun? So let's take the blue and the green, the purple. Let's start with purple. I'm going to get another spongy. Hang on, they're over here in my drawer. I know you're around here somewhere, sir. Where did you go? Okay, scanning. Oh, I kind of knew spongy on it already. Oh well, I'm prepared. So we're going to take the purple, and then we'll take the blue, and then we'll take the green. So it's kind of colorful. Let's see what happens. Okay, making sure whatever is in the stopper is out. Oh, that's so cool. Let's doing what I wanted it to do. Oops. But that's kind of fun. Hang on. I'll do a few of them over here. All right. It's not really truly black. It's kind of a muddled gray, but let's try this off and see what happens. Let's try. Let's do more of a. Okay, so we tried splatter, spray, mist. Let's see what you want to see it. You want to see it? It's pretty cool. This thing's ginormous, but I love it. Okay, let's start with. Let's do. I'm gonna cut this. Let's save that piece. And let's do 1 inch. Of that, if you're finding value in this video, smash that like button. And if you think of someone who likes this kind of content, send it on over to them. Because sharing is caring, right? That's what they say anyway. Okay, just cut them in half-ish. They're not exactly in half, but they're close enough. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get a piece of book page. I want to see the difference. So we got white page here, book page here. Let's start with the alcohol ink. Now this might be interesting. Where's my pointy stick? Sometimes this helps, sometimes it doesn't. Nope. Sometimes this helps, sometimes I have to break out the needle. This is the only downfall to this stuff. It's a pain in the butt to get off its backing paper. Or keep it on its backing paper. It's kind of funny that way. Alright, let me argue with this. Where, there it is. Well, try and just stick the needle. Let's try stabbing it. Sometimes that works better. Yep. Okay, stabbed it. Awesome. Now I can't see because my glasses are too magnified. All right. So let's lay that down. So just as a reminder, let's find a marker that'll actually show up on this paper. Make this work. This is alcohol ink. Okay. See if we can do it with just the regular ones. If we stab it. Okay, that's the trick. You stab it, but not your finger. Okay, maybe that's not the trick. Come on, baby. Work with me. Thank you very much. There we go. Stab it. Okay, we're getting it. Okay. This is, and see that, it's not staying on real good, but we'll see how once it cures. We'll let it sit for a little bit. So that's alcohol ink. This is archival ink. Okay. That one's going to be easy because it had a bubble. Okay, and this is acrylic. And this is archival ink and alcohol ink and playing around and having fun. Okay, so poke it. Really? I thought I had the system down. Don't tell me we painted on the wrong side. That would be typical me, though. We did do. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Paper towel. Let's see something. It's coming off a little bit. So I think maybe if we just let it sit. Yeah, see, that's coming off a lot. So let's kind of buff that out. Maybe we need to spray it with a matte varnish or something after we stamp it. Okay. And then this is AI, alcohol ink, and archival ink. Okay. Let's do them in the same order over here. Let's get the nerd glasses out of the way. Careful, I'm going to woggle this. There we go. Everything has a purpose in my studio. If it doesn't have a purpose, it's not in here. Sometimes the purpose is just to make me smile, though. So, you know, it's extra fun when it's like a double duty thing. Okay, so that's the alcohol ink. So that one's still kind of coming off. It's all right. I'll stamp the rest of the sheets and in the way that I want them to be stamped. And then we'll spray them with some UV stuff that I have. And that should keep it from smudging. This is really the only way to do it quickly. Is to stab it. Don't stab yourself though, because that's painful. And then there's strawberry jam, which is what we call blood in this house. Because I don't like strawberry jam. I like strawberry preserves. That's how we differentiate. Okay. Oh, wow. That is so cool. Okay. This is why I did it this way. So we can compare. How fun is that? You can still see through, maybe not the heavy paint. We probably figure out a way to lift it off a little better than I did. Or, probably just use it like a jelly plate, sort of. Look how fun that is. You stamp on that? Fun, fun, fun. I like the colors too. I do. Kind of graze it out. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Since we have all our inks and paint and sprays and stuff out for doing the boo-boo tape or faux cello tape, I thought we could do some faux DIY. I don't know if you'd call it faux because it is paper tape. And I get this roll of paper tape at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I use it for a lot of things. But we need these supplies and wax paper. Now I use wax paper because usually paper tape will stick to it, and you also can use the paper that lays behind it, this wax paper, as embellishments to some of your projects. Now, so you just want to lay it out flat, and I like to do probably 4 or 5 pieces. I leave a gap in between so I have a good substantial sized between it. And here you can really get into mixed media without getting into mixed media. So I've got 4 pieces down. That should be enough. I usually do like I cut out 4 or 5 sheets of wax paper, get them all taped down just like this, and then do a sheet of one color, do a sheet of another color, do a sheet of another color, and then I have multiple sheets with only having to do one thing. But I only have a handful of things available right now. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to do some mixed media. This is pitch black alcohol ink. We'll use some paints as well. And once everything is kind of dried, then we'll come back over it with some archival ink. So I just take, and I like to just make lots of black like that because they sink into the paper and it's kind of cool. And you remember, these are washi tapes. So think about how you use washi tape. Think of, do you use a little piece? Do you use a long piece? What do you do? So we're going to let this sit for a second as we pick out other colors. So let's do a little purple. See how they're bleeding? I love how that does, but this is also fun to do. Just come back and bloop them. Now, maybe you don't want very much purple. Get a blotty towel. You can come in and lift some of that off. And it'll lift up some of the alcohol ink too. And because it's pitch black, you're going to get these really cool effects. Like I got a red circle there, which is really kind of fun. So we can take this and blot this out on the waxed paper as well. Right? Cool, huh? And then we can take some coffee stain and tone it down a little bit. Again, we can blot if we want it more blotchy of color. Like that. Let's come in with some of this green. And you can see I'm spraying kind of on the paper more because I want the overspray to go there. So again, we're just going to blot it out. And I kind of just go over the whole paper like the tape's not even there. And that way I get a more uneven effect. It doesn't look like I came in and just blotted that particular thing. Okay. We're getting kind of sloppy over here. Let's do some contrast color and get some pink in there. Now for this, I want to make sure my tip is clean, my sprayer is clean, because we're going to do just way up high. I have my hand up here way by the camera. Okay. We're just going to spray it down. And it kind of goes where it wants to go. That's the problem with these inexpensive ones. And the other thing you can do is you can take the lid off and do splatter. Now I'm not going to blot this because I want the splatters to look like splatters. Or splots. I guess we're going to do a splot right there. We're going to hit this with the hairdryer and get it nice and dry. This is all nice and dry. And I thought, well, you know what would be kind of cool maybe is to take a little bit of the sepia. See if I can get my things switched out. Get the right one. And I'm just going to do it on the ends just to see if I like it or not. Because if I don't like it, I won't do it to the whole thing. But I wanted this dry before I tried it. So here we go. And we're going to put it on the little applicator brush. There, we kind of grunged up that color. You couldn't even tell the difference between this one and this one. We just kind of grunged up the color. That's kind of fun. So we'll put that in our little filing cabinet in our brain for cool stuff to do. Now let's let that dry and let's move to the next one. Let's start off with a little bit of coffee. A little bit of avocado. Now let's take the sepia and just tamp this out. And we're going to pretend, like I said, we use washi tape usually in no longer than 8-inch sections, and these are about 10. So as we go down, we're going to find that if we just blend into the next section, it'll blend really cool on the tape as well. So there's that. And I'm going to leave this one. I'll let this one dry because it looks really grungy and cool. Let me find a white piece of paper so you can see. it just looks grungy and cool background. So we're gonna let this one dry. Let's take our blender and just tamp. We got this nice dark grungy background. We're gonna come back and we're gonna get this that's on the I never let anything go to waste. Well, I do. There are times where I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Okay. Give it a good swirly gig. And I'm doing this very, very lightly. So we still get the circles because we want the edges of the circles because that's what's going to give our deviation in color. Okay. There's brown. And maybe we want to do a little bit of pitch black alcohol ink. So I'm going to take the same applicator brush. We're going to just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for good luck. And we don't want to go directly on the tape when we first load up the brush. Oh, there's a little drip on there. We're just going to kind of go in here. And then we're going to go in here. All right, and then we're going to pick up some of that and do this one. This one's going to be lighter, of course. All right, blend this over. Because the pitch black does such cool things. There we go. Now let's do that again. But this time we're going to do mushroom. And this time I did 9 drips. And first, I'll get that later. So we're going to go in here. And then we're going to go in here and then we'll go on this one. And we're going to sweep this one across. Like that. And back. And hit this one. Okay. And then we'll do the Havana Brown. And we'll do that top one with that. We're going to do probably 7. Nope, 9. I changed my mind. Audible. And then the other thing we're going to do, we're going to take some alcohol. This is 91% rubbing alcohol, and we're going to mist this. Just one spritz. Then we'll come back and hit some of these dots. There. That'll make that paper look really cool. So now let's take some of this mushroom and really load this up. So I'm going to do dots. Probably, I mean, it's fairly thick. And we're just going to hit between these two. Like this, and just go back and forth. And between these two, we'll pick up some of the extra up here and bring it down here. And just like I said, just kind of work in sections, blend it out in this section, bring it down to this section. Because what we're thinking of is what we can do with this paper. later, because we got some really cool backgrounds to stamp on or to do whatever for our washi tapes. Now let's figure out what we're going to do here. Again, rubbing alcohol, 1 spritz, and we're going to come in and we're just going to lay it down. Again, 1 spritz, and we're lay it down. And we're going to do one more spritz on there, and we're going to start at this side. There we go. So it kind of crossfades into each other. I think we need to do this similar thing here because it's not as prevalent on this end. There. I think we need to hit this a little bit too. Come down here with the heavy and just come back in. And when you're doing this, you're going to hit the washi, so it's going to do some cool things on the edge of the washi too. There we go. Now we got some cool strips. We got some cool tape. Let's bring on the next one. We're going to let this one dry. Let's do I'm almost out of coffee. Yeah, that's almost gone. Let's just do some, this is avocado. Okay, and then now we're going to hit this with some rubbing alcohol. Now, don't use too much when you're spraying it because it will degrade the adhesive on the tape. And again, we're going to go high. We can get big splatters. And I come in with some pink or magenta. And the reason why I want to use magenta and yellow together, because it makes kind of orange color, orangey brown gray, I guess. Now we're going to let this sit for a second while we get, you know what, let's use the same one. Let's just tamp this out. That little bit of brown isn't going to make much of a difference with all this other color. We're just going to tamp it out. And as we're doing so, we're kind of hitting the edges of the tape. I'm coming back down the middle, making sure we're getting the ends. I don't want to miss out on the ends. Oops. Why did you tip over, sir? Doth I offend thee? Okay, now this is all wet. So what's really cool is when this is all wet and we're not throwing things on it. Put that over there. We're going to take this guy. This is peacock feathers, distress oxide spray. So as we spray it, it's going into a wet surface, and people will argue with me and say I'm wrong about this, but whatever. Every artist does their art differently. And we're just gonna spray it from up top. That's cool. And if you're worried about getting stuff everywhere, you can put paper up. You can bring a Amazon box inside. Or you can get the spray box from Tim Holtz. My thing doesn't want to spray up high anymore. But you see how this is kind of running and oxidizing, but the tape is not, and you still got some white popping through, and you've got browns and magentas and yellows, and then you've got this beautiful teal on top. This I'm not going to do anything with other than hit it with the heat gun because I don't want any of these pooly areas to run. And that's good enough. We'll let it finish drying over on the other table. Now this one I want to do, I don't know what this is. All right, cool. And I'm going to grab my other bottle of coffee. So I have this big squirty bottle of coffee. I use this to fill up my little spray bottle, or I use this to just drip coffee stain. And the reason why I sprayed it with the other stuff first is because I didn't necessarily want I didn't want this tape to soak this all up like immediately. I want it to kind of sit there for a minute and just kind of take its time to absorb. Now we're going to hit this with the hairdryer. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and this is rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to make little splotches. I'm not really spraying it, I'm more like spitting it out. There we go. And that should react with the alcohol ink. And then we're going to take some of the stress dioxide, and we're going to do like we did up here. See, my hand's way up here. Actually, it's more off to the right and like right at camera height. So 18 inches. And apparently it's almost empty. Let's turn the button and see if that helps. There we go. And I just want there. And then we're going to hit this with the dryer again. And I do it on low speed. I have cool, low, and high. I do it on low. So we have this one, looks really cool. And so we're gonna let this one dry. I'm running out of room. Let's clean up our mess here, and then we will bring in the alcohol or the archival ink part of the mixed media-ish stuff. Let's do this. I have a variety of stamps here and a variety of colors of ink. So let's see what we got for, I just got some plain script or some typeface. These tickets and airmail, and I don't know, we'll play with around with those. I've got this blueprints. I don't know where this came from, but it's one of my favorite stamps. This heart, I think this is a recollection one. Maybe not. I don't know. This is from Robin McClendon, and this is a Stampers Anonymous. I can't read. Sorry, I can't read the font. Maybe we can zoom in. I don't know. But that's just a regular font. This is kind of a broken up font. And then we've got mulberry, fern, jet black, sepia again, because, you know, I have a thing for it. Coffee, petunia, and night sky. So we've got all these different colors. So we may use them all, we may not. they're not all the ones I have. I have a thing for the archival ink because I can stamp it, and if I don't like it, I can cover it up with paint and it doesn't bleed through, and it's good. So what we're gonna do is I like taking the back of a stamp because this is kind of shiny and whatever, but I'm gonna use this side of the stamp, but I also want to use this side of the stamp, but I want to use a couple of these ticket things. And I use this and it doesn't want to stick anymore, and I gotta clean it, I guess. So take this and put that there, and take this, put it here. These are from Michael's. I think this is the right way. We're gonna do a test one before we, and now they won't stick. How do you like that? You know what? Screw it. I'm just over these. I've had them for like a year, and I've only used like 2 letters. Now the D fell off somewhere over there. Oh man. Let's throw that over there. Let's do this. You know what? This would be better. We got a little collage of stamps here. Can't really see them, but there's a little collage of stamps right there. I do have a Misty, but it's only like, it only holds like 6-inch paper, so it gets a little annoying after a while. Let's bring this out. So this guy, I think we want to stamp in blue with him. We're going to do this one. So move these up here. Get that out of my way. Well, now remember, we're going to stamp these as if we're doing like a strip. So where'd that other piece go? This will help. This has got sticky, and yes, I'm really bad about, whoops, that's probably not a good idea. That was a bad life choice. Let me go get the re-inker for this. So I've got the re-inkers. Whenever I buy a pad, I buy the re-inker as well. So I'll move this over here so we don't accidentally splatter. And while this is soaking up its bits, we're gonna get another sheet to put on the back of this. I think, yeah, I'm gonna use this sheet instead. There's still a little bit of ink on there. Yeah, we're gonna live dangerously. And we'll put this down. So that way, yeah, I got ink on me, but I'm used to it. All right. I just used an old thing to get any extra that had dripped, because sometimes I drip on the side, and just kind of go in with the re-ink or soaked matte thing, and then we'll pick it up down here. I got most of it. So now I don't have to really, I just tap it. We should get really nice bold lines. As long as we don't wiggle. Don't wiggle. You know what? We're going to do this right here. I should have put something down, but I didn't. There we go. Now we'll tap this again. There we go. That turned out really nice. And then we'll do one more stamp. I'm going to put this over to the side because we'll use it again. And then I'm going to turn this, the corner turned like this. And then we're going to take this script stamp because I love it. And let's do mulberry. The thing I like about working with wax paper is it's translucent, so you can kind of see where you need to have your paper. It's kind of nice. I think it really accentuates the purple in this, and it also, this color goes really well with avocado dye. I don't know why, but it does. See, it looks really, really dark on the paper because the paper absorbs it, but it's on top of the wax paper, so you get to see that kind of more brighter red color. So we're done with this one. And I'm going to, I was going to try and show you, but apparently my hand doesn't want to work with paper today. Let's grab the folded piece because it pops up easier. You can see the cool effects on the paper and on the tape. So let's do this to the other ones. Let me put this to the side. Let's do a quick test of this guy over here. Let's put the lid on this because I will put my elbow in it. And since we worked with mulberry, let's do a little black. Oh, wait. Nope. Not that one. Not yet. We're going to do this one. Let's do this in black. This is our little stamp collage that we did on the back of the stamp. And all those card makers and scrapbookers and people who use stamps as part of their art all the time, they're probably screaming at me, "You can't do that." I can do whatever I want. There are no rules in art except have fun, be creative. I just want to test this out, see how it looks. Other than it not coming off very well, I'm going to put some more archival and let this dry. My jet black is a little dry, and this one I don't have a re-inker for anymore because the pad is still really good. I've had this for a couple of years now, and that's why I don't have a problem with buying more expensive supplies like these pads, template pads, if you take care of them, the way you see proper. I mean, some people might say I don't take care of my stuff because I blend inks and oxides on the same pad, kind of, and the same blender, and then dip in both. But I keep them in the pads themselves in hydrated condition, and I use them a lot. Okay, maybe this is just the table giving me issues. Or maybe not. Because this day one doesn't want to come through. Let's see if it's the stamp, because the block looks even. Plain wood. So let's see what happens. I need to rock it a little. Now I'm not getting the day at all. It's not even lifting. Hang on a second. Maybe it's just too... It's not tall enough. Yeah, it's not tall enough. We'll just leave it there because it's all full of ink. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. Let's grab another one. And this one is our browns, straight up browns. So we're going to take, this one we had mulberry on, so I'm going to take the petunia. This is my favorite of all the colors. You know what? We're going to leave it like this. I'm just going to leave it with purple because the purple is kind of turning a little bit of brown and it's nice and purple here. Let's just leave it. I like it. Next. Oh, the fun polka dotty one. See, this is the kind of polka dots I like. All right. This is the one I wanted to use this one on. But now that these are, I wonder, let's rearrange these a little bit. Throw that over there. I'm not real good with my stamps. I'm not real kind to them. I mean, I am. But I'm not. Let's put this back. I just feel like I need to have something here. There's my D. Okay. There we go. That's this one. Transport date. Let's put this there. All right, let's make sure we have these. Oop. There we go. That way, if it doesn't show up, it's not a big deal. There we go. And I know we did black alcohol ink, but I want to do black. I want to kind of keep it browns and blacks, keep it fairly neutral. I'm not really impressed with these stamps. I got these off of Amazon. They were like $7 for a full, that sheet that was at the beginning. And maybe maybe I should get the Misty out, but it only can do little sections of the paper itself. So, I don't know. Maybe, oh, you know what? Hang on, let me grab my glue mat and give it a little bit of something something underneath. Where did my glue mat go? There it is. Okay. So lift this up. We're going to need this, but we'll put it on the edge. Yep. I'm not going to do it on all of this. I'm just going to do it on this strip because I like it with the black polka dotty things. If you wiggle it or you overlay it the wrong way, you get kind of oopsie daisies. But you know what? No one will know it but you. So if you're okay with it, rock it. Go with it. Flow with it. No, I overlaid that end a little bit. That's okay. I'm okay with that. See, I'm wiggling it a little bit. Just trying to get the centerpiece. There we go. All right. See, I smudged it a little bit. But you know what? Handmade. Artsy fartsy. Cool stuff, dude. It's all right. It's all good. So, there's that one. Not my favorite, but you know what? It might be fun. Put it in a cluster or something. All right, we have this guy. And we have one more after this. I think we're going to stick with the same blue script. But we're going to do it this way. And we're going to use this one. And yes, you can clean between stampings if you choose to do so. I am not a purist. I don't care if they blend. I'm okay with that. I think I'm just going to leave those two. Yep, because I like them the way they are. So we're just going to leave those two. All right. So because we use these, let's move these out of the way. I just think green would look really cool with this. So we're going to take this heart. It has hearts, and I'm not sure what kind of flowers those are. I mean, I'd probably know in the back of the recesses of my brain, but the recesses of my brain have been extremely vacant lately. All right, let's move these out of the way because we're almost done. This is our last washi tape. But you know what? We've got all that boo-boo tape, the faux boo-boo tape. Let's do this to that too real quick. We'll do one just so you can see what it does. Didn't really do much. But that piece of washi has some really subtle colors in it. Pretty. That one not so much. But I mean, it's still pretty. It's just not, doesn't have the color. So let's do it again. Let's do it on this strip. And then we'll leave the other two alone. That looks really cool. I mean, camera's not picking it up as good as it looks in real life. But isn't that always the case with YouTube videos? All right, that's the last one of that. But let's move this out of the way. And we've got our faux boo-boo tapes. Let's take the little strips that we have here. We're going to take these and we're going to stick them to our glue mat. Let's see if we can make them stay for a minute. Make them hang out. Think it'll work? Maybe. Kind of working. Let's do one of my favorite things to do is to just blend colors. So I just take a stamp and I grab my stamp pads and I just start blending colors. And then I can come back with black and just do that. So let's see how it works. Okay, so we have, just for recall, acrylic paint, archival ink. Oh no, this is the archival ink. Alcohol ink. No, we did 2 archival inks. We did one in browns and one in colors. Okay. Look at that. It got smudgy right there, but that's okay. We can go in there and clean it up if you want, or hit it with some rubbing alcohol. Actually, that's what we're gonna do. I find that scrap paper again. I'm gonna shield this, and we're just gonna. There. Now we got a whole new thing going on. Ha ha ha. Let's hit this with the hairdryer real quick. On. Now, let's just take the black. Turn that into that. How cool is that? So when you cut your tape, you can cut with the lines or with that against the lines. So yeah, let's set that over to the side to dry. I'm gonna bring this guy out. I'm gonna lay him right here. And we're just gonna get the bottom of him. So. Oh, that's so cool. Put that to the side. you got this cool tape that you can cut sideways and use it. It kind of looks wood grainy, but it's got script on it. If you wanted to, you could come in with any other, you can do whatever you want. I just happen to like a little extra interest in some of them. Some of them I want them a little more plain, but this one, I like it. I like it a lot. And then this is the one that we came by and hit it with the rubbing alcohol. So like right here, it got a little splotchy and I wanted it more splotchy. So that's what we did. And it reactivated some of the color underneath too, and it kind of blended with the blue. So yeah. Be inspired, go out there and create something, yo.
Bartender!